Filippo Biondi has set the world ablaze with his theory of a second Sphinx in Giza. And given all of the different controversy this week, I decided to clarify some things. Based off of Filippo's claim, theory, idea, suggestion, it does seem like he's saying that it's possible there could be a second Sphinx there, based off of the dream stela depicting two sphinxes. This is his claim. He has done scans. There does seem to be some sort of structure where he scanned, where he claims the second sphinx could be located. But here's the thing. He is not claiming that there is a second sphinx, nor is he claiming that he found a second sphinx. He's simply letting you know that he scanned an area which previously has been unscanned or even unexcavated by most people aside from the Japanese team at NC2, and he found an area where there could possibly be a second sphinx, as depicted on the dream stela in between the paws of the sphinx. So what this boils down to is this. If there is a second sphinx at all on the Giza Plateau, Filippo is simply suggesting that this is the location that one might be located if a second sphinx exists. So before everyone gets all bent out of shape thinking he's claimed to find a second sphinx or that he's got evidence to prove there's a second sphinx, none of that has taken place. The only thing that has taken place is many scans at the Giza Plateau, obviously, because we've seen a lot of different amazing and incredible images that are real and confirmed. And he scanned all sorts of other locations, not only at Giza, but all sorts of different places, especially under the Sphinx. He showed us the Osiris shaft, and there's even going to be a few more scans coming out directly under the Sphinx we know of. And there's going to be some exciting things pertaining to that, so stay tuned for that. But at this point, no one is confirmed, nor is anyone claiming that there's a second Sphinx at the Giza Plateau. If anyone thinks that there is a Sphinx at the Giza Plateau, by all means, if you can come forward with some proof to show that, we are here to listen. But no one is claiming a second Sphinx has been found. He's just simply letting you know a location that might possibly be a second Sphinx, if a second Sphinx exists, would be right next to NC2, where he scanned. And he's been talking about it this week on Matt Beal. He went on Joe Rogan. He's been all over the place talking about it. But before anyone gets all bent out of shape and starts crucifying Filippo Biondi, just clarify with every video you've seen and with all of the comments he's made, and make sure you're accurate when you say that he's claiming to find one, because that is not the case whatsoever. But that's okay. Given all of the amazing and incredible things that are coming out right now, UFO disclosure, all these corrupt and evil people doing some awful things, the Giza Plateau scans, I mean, all sorts of things are coming out right now. So given the fact that so much is happening, so many milestone achievements or disclosures or announcements are being had all at the same time, it's bound to happen that some people kind of either get confused or take things out of context or kind of, I don't know, take liberties with what they think people are saying. There's a lot of information coming out from a lot of different things and a lot of different angles from a lot of different people. And it's understandable that there would be some confusion about a lot of different things right now. So before anyone bites our heads off, or his, or anybody else's for that matter, take a chill pill for a sec. Let's all kind of collect ourselves and just kind of look at the evidence and kind of boil down what this could mean. Whether there is a second Sphinx there or not, in my opinion, that would be an amazing discovery and it would be a fascinating conversation to have. But I think as it pertains to everything going on right now, in a small sense, it's not as important as the rest. Case in point, the scans under the pyramids, for instance. That is a major find. And it's incredible, and it's absolutely going to need a lot more verification and, I don't know, a couple other teams to verify the findings kind of thing. But those, I don't really know how to say this. There's other evidence to back up those claims, and there's a lot. other expeditions that have happened from our past. People like Paul White, George Reisner, Howard Weiss. I mean, all sorts of people have all sorts of claims that kind of back up the idea of the scans showing large structures under the pyramid. So yeah, we can follow that theory as far as we want because there's a mountain of evidence that shows that's accurate, along with a whole lot of history, the dream stela, emerald tablets, the Thoth the Atlantean. I mean, all sorts of stuff says there's actually stuff under the Giza Plateau. So that one is, even though I can't say 100% it's confirmed, there's definitely something down there. I'm willing to put myself out there. I'm pretty sure that those scans are showing us that there's some massive, massive pillars and possibly the Hall of Records or even the Fountain of Youth, for all we know, underneath the Giza Plateau. So, if there's a second Sphinx there, what would that change, given everything I just said? And if there's not, what would that change, given everything I just said? You see what I mean? Whether there's a second Sphinx there or not, I don't think it would change much if there is or if there's not, because the scans still show a very large structure underneath the entirety of the Giza Plateau. Then you've got people like Herodotus and even Plato mentioning things like Atlantis and the labyrinths that are underneath the Giza Plateau. And even, this can't be considered evidence, but even the comments from TV shows like The Chosen, where Jesus is commenting on how amazing the structures in Egypt are, you know? It's fun stuff like that that kind of, in a very small way, leads credibility to the overall idea. But then when you combine the different excavations, expeditions, discoveries by all these people from our history, and all of the different claims from people, even Napoleon Bonaparte, who have claimed to have found massive chambers, solar temples, all sorts of megalithic sites and structures underneath the Giza Plateau. You have to look at all of this. You can't look at one claim or one piece of evidence. You have to look at all of it, put it all together, and look at it from an outside perspective so you can get a good view of the entire picture. So, if there's a second Sphinx there, that's great. And if there's not, doesn't really change much because the massive structures that the scans showed us are there. So, there might be a second Sphinx at the Giza Plateau. Absolutely. There's many other Sphinxes around the world at all sorts of other places. Luxor, even one in Vegas, all sorts of little miniature versions of Sphinxes all over the world at all sorts of different places. There's even a few on top of gigantic skyscrapers. So it's not like there's only one Sphinx in the world. But we just don't know yet. It's too soon to say whether there's a second Sphinx at the Giza Plateau for certain or not. But the cool thing is, we don't need to know for certain. We can take enough liberties with the information we do have and the confirmations that we have gotten. And we can use our intelligence and our mind and boil down the options and come to a close enough answer that we can kind of see enough of the picture to be able to make a guess to an extent. Now, don't overthink my words. This is just a very mild version or boiled down way of saying it. But there's a lot more important things that need to be focused on right now. And a lot more important things for us to be putting our time and effort into researching, especially when it comes to consciousness, UFO disclosure, religion, the truth about Jesus' words, what the mystery schools of Egypt were teaching, what the freaking labyrinths underneath the plateau held. Makes me want to go watch Alien versus Predator or Alien Hunter. What's the third one? Requiem? I don't know. There's a bunch of these movies that have these like Antarctic or Alaskan type pyramids buried under ice where they go and find some ancient mysterious being down there. Like Alien versus the Predator is the best example I can think of. But what if that's real? Creepy, right? What if there really was an ancient advanced civilization on this planet and they really did have a massive labyrinth down there and they really did like put people down there like the Hunger Games or something? That would be crazy, right? But then there's also the stories of the initiation. Even claims that Jesus went through it. The initiation process was something that you went through in the labyrinth, underneath the Giza Plateau. And the prize at the end of that rainbow would be the divine abilities that live in every single one of us would be awakened. That's an interesting story, especially with all the consciousness talk that's coming out right now. Fascinating, fascinating stuff. But Egypt, especially ancient Egypt, is full of mysterious things like this. And it's the mystery schools of Egypt that have me fascinated at the moment. I would love to bring them back somehow and just sit in their classroom for one day, just being a fly on the wall. That'd be amazing. Anyway, now I'm ranting. ADHD's kicked in, so I'm going to end it right there. I just figured I'd jump in here real quickly, share a few quick thoughts, hopefully give some of you a better idea of what it is that's actually going on right now. But here's what it all boils down to. There could be a second Sphinx on the Giza Plateau. Absolutely. But nothing has confirmed that yet. We have a lot more research and confirmation to do before we can say that with any certainty. So by all means, speculate all you'd like, share the knowledge or tell people the story, however you wanted to go about doing it, that's on you. But nothing has been confirmed yet. Nothing. A suggestion was made, Filippo offered a theory, and just like all of we do on a daily basis at this point, we all speculate 24/7 all day, every day. Except that we're not in the public eye. So we don't have to deal with the fallout or all the negative aspects that come from having the guts to say your theory on television or on a podcast, you know? You get what I'm trying to say? So the fact that he's in the public eye makes it worse for him. But that's not the good way to look at it or that's not a good way to look at it because this is what the problem is currently with our scientific community and with the world in general. Everyone attacks people for simply having an idea, and we need to be the exact opposite. We need to start supporting people who are willing to say their ideas, especially on TV or in front of any large crowd of any kind, or just in front of the world on podcasts. I mean, we need to be supporting people who are thinking outside the box, who have the guts to go out and say, hey, this might be this. Whether they're right or wrong doesn't matter. The world is so full of people who are too afraid to take the next step or think outside the box or be any different. That's not good. We need uniqueness. We need creativity. We need outside the box thinkers because that's the only way our world's going to change back to what it's meant to be. That's the only way we're going to get to this prosperous, advanced civilization type future that we're all hoping for. So take it easy on the dogging people, you know? Have a little bit more patience, compassion, understanding, and also a little bit more respect for the idea that if you were the one on TV saying the exact same things and someone like you was saying what you're saying to you, you'd be all sorts of bent out of shape, wouldn't you? So let's do our best to not be so contradictive. Let's do our best to not, I don't know, be hypocritical. Let's have patience. Let's give these scientists the benefit of the doubt because we all know they need time to confirm things. But yet every time we want an answer, we have to pretend, oh, well, you don't need to confirm anything. Just give me my freaking answer. Yeah. Let's end it there before I rant any longer. Have some patience, people. We are finding answers. Clearly progress is being made. Think about it this way. A year and a half to 2 years ago, no one was talking about Egypt or the Sphinx. UFO disclosure was basically in its infancy. So it's only been 2 years and a whole lot's happened. So progress is being made. Have some patience. And if you can't have patience, go out and find the answers yourself. And then share them with the rest of us. So we'll end it there. Join me tomorrow night at 8 o'clock as I talk with the one and only Armando May. And we'll see what he thinks about the second Sphinx. He's got a lot of amazing ideas and a lot of amazing theories on a lot of different things. But he's got some incredible outlooks and information when it comes to the second Sphinx. So join us tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. See you then.